You are watching the news on the hour brought to you from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. I am Zubechi Frank. You are welcome. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. These were the words of Venerable Anglican, the vicar and archdeacon of St. Stephen's Anglican Church, Umudim, Nnewi, while preaching at the modern Sunday service. Speaking on the topic, a woman that stands out, he said, a woman who stands out is a woman who fears God, submits herself to her husband, respects and obeys him.
Wonderful instruments in the hand of God. Proverbs chapter 31 is a very wonderful place. Number one is woman that stands out, that will stand out, will be a woman that fears God. Now verse 30 of that Proverbs 31 will say, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. The woman that fears the Lord, you stand out by fearing the Lord, by respecting and obeying and submitting yourself to your own husband.
Mothers have a very high tendency of influencing their children more than the fathers. This is because the first person the child comes in contact with is the mother. Hence, mothers should live a life that is worthy of emulation. Mothers ought to be role mothers so that the family and the society will be in peace and progress rapidly. This was the assertion of the Reverend Prince Chukwuma during his sermon at St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Oreifite, Anambra State, during the modern Sunday celebration on the theme, The Exemplary Mother. According to the cleric, the way a mother lives her life goes a long way in affecting the future of her children. Hence, he called on mothers to avoid living a reckless life. Citing the life of Lois, the grandmother of Timothy, Reverend Chukwuma said that it was because Timothy was raised by good women that was why he knew the Lord at a very tender age, adding that mothers should endeavor to raise their children in a godly way. The priest further said that home where the children are wayward is a home where the mother is lacking in her duties, and such home is assumed to have no mother. Adults and young people have been advised to develop themselves into people of noble character. As such, people stand out in the society and do not join the multitude to do evil. This advice was given by Mrs. Oluranti Ademowo, an experienced preacher and wife of immediate past bishop of the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion and the former Dean, Church of Nigeria, the Most Reverend Dr. Ephraim Ademowo. Mrs. Ademowo spoke while preaching the sermon at the modern Sunday service at the chapel of Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, while speaking on the theme, Children of Noble Character. She said nobility cannot be inherited from parents or got through wishful thinking, saying people have to work towards developing noble character. She said people of nobility stand out because they stick to the right thing irrespective of the trend and custom of the world. They are steadfast and do not move with the crowd. She said such people seek to know God better and urged her audience to become people who will make their mothers proud, not cause them sleepless nights. She said other characteristics of noble people include selflessness, discipline, and generosity. She told her audience to always show gratitude to God and people who have rendered help to them, stating that a grateful heart is always at peace. Still on modern Sunday celebrations, we have pictures from various churches in the Anglican Communion showcasing moments of their modern Sunday. Here are some of the pictures gathered.
You are great. You are great. for the life that you gave to us. Thank you for your will to guide us. Thank you for your word to direct us. Oh, without a doubt, you're the God for us. In the morning time, you are the dawn. In the evening time, from dusk to dawn, we salute you 'cause you are the dawn. And for all the things you've done, a new life He gave, friends and family, friends and family, living in victory. Now I'm living in victory. Misery's far from me. Myself, what kind of love is this? You've been blessing me, now I live in this. Some for many blessings that I make the least. Oh, what I don't end the list. I take some time to reminisce of the many blessings I would have missed if I didn't have you running my midst. Thank you for loving me. New life He gave, new life He gave. Friends and family, friends and family, living in victory.
The Supreme Council of Bishops, also known as World Council of Bishops, has reacted to the face-off between the Christian Association of Nigeria, ACNN, and the National Christian Elders Forum, CEF, over the former's congratulatory visit to President Muhammadu Buhari. The Reverend Samson Ayokunle-led CAN had visited Buhari at the presidential villa Abuja last week to congratulate him on his re-election. Against this backdrop, NCEF lambasted CAN for visiting Buhari to congratulate him on his re-election, since the president's emergence was being contested in court. NCEF, led by former Minister of Defense Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma, retired, and Solomon Asemota, faulted the visit, which was described as morally and spiritually reprehensible. Reacting to the face-off, the council charged both bodies to stop washing their dirty linen in public. We shall now go on a short commercial break. We shall be back with more news. Please stay with us.
At the King's Court is a program where we worship and praise the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords through various musical renditions. So join me, Eukaria Ozovehe, at the King's Court every Tuesday by 6 p.m. on this station, and it promises to be exciting and rewarding.
You are welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. The suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Walter Onore, has shelved his earlier resolve to produce 3 witnesses to debunk the allegation that he did not declare his assets as prescribed by the law. At the resumed proceeding on the 6 counts charge, the federal government preferred against him before the Code of Conduct Tribunal CCT. The embattled CJN announced his decision to close his defense with only the testimony of his driver. Justice Honore's driver, Mr. Lawal Bushari, had testified before the tribunal as the first defense witness. The witness had in his evidence in chief told the Mr. Danladi Omar-led CCT panel that he personally drove Honore to Code of Conduct Bureau (CCB) in 2010 to submit his assets declaration form. His evidence was contrary to the allegation that the defendant failed to declare his assets between 2006 and 2016. Federal government had alleged that Honore's failure to properly declare his assets was in violation of subsection 15, subsection 2 of Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. It further alleged that the suspended CJN operated 5 foreign bank accounts, contrary to the Code of Conduct for Public Officers. The suspended CJN had at the last adjourned date persuaded the CCT panel to issue a subpoena to compel a director at the Code of Conduct Bureau, Mrs. Teresa Nwafo, to appear as his second witness. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Mrs. Dabiri Arewa, has said that the execution of a Nigerian woman by Saudi Arabia government over drug-related matters was pathetic and tragic. It would be recalled that Saudi Arabia's Interior Ministry had said that 4 persons, including 1 Nigerian woman, were executed for drug trafficking. Dabiri Arewa said in a statement by her media aide Abdurrahman Balogu in Abuja that the news of the tragedy was painful. She was concerned by the nature of the trials they were subjected to and wondered if they were fair. According to her, it is regrettable that in spite of wise counsel for Nigerians traveling to Saudi Arabia by relevant government agencies to obey the country's law, some Nigerians still go and follow the law. She said that Nigerian government had made pleas on behalf of some Nigerians to the Saudi Arabia government to tamper justice with mercy, but that it had not yielded positive results. And now to foreign news. Senior Anglican and Jewish leaders of the Anglican Jewish Commission, which is the vehicle for the official dialogue between the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Chief Rabbinate of Israel, have met in Manchester, England for their annual meeting, which usually alternate between Lambeth Palace and Jerusalem. The Commission had the opportunity to meet with local Jewish people, local Anglicans, and also with young people from the Jewish tradition, the Christian tradition and the Islamic tradition who work together. According to Rabbi David Broshen, the interfaith advisor to the Chief Rabbinate of Israel, the commission was established to promote deeper understanding between the leaders of the 2 communities and to build up friendships and address challenges.
The Commission was established to promote deeper understanding between leaders of our 2 respective communities, to build up friendships, to be able to address challenges today that face our communities equally, and to see ways in which we can offer a message in society and in science and in the major challenges of our contemporary world for the benefit of humanity at large.
And according to Archbishop Michael Jackson, the Commission draws together people who are very conscious of conflict and yet seek to transcend it through sharing ideas of mutual respect, sharing ideas of the shared identity under God, while at the same time having different traditions and wanting to converse with an openness and curiosity.
I think the work of this commission is important because it draws together people who in a way are very conscious of conflict and yet seek to transcend it through sharing ideas of mutual respect, sharing ideas of the shared identity under God, while at the same time having different traditions and wanting to converse with an openness and a curiosity.
The clerics also spoke on curbing anti-Semitism and racism.
burden of the past certainly does weigh upon the responsibility of our relationship in the present in different ways. For the Jewish community, should make it all the more imperative to be able to work together with our Christian brothers and sisters to ensure that those kind of tragedies do not occur again, and that we build up this sense both of camaraderie and mutual responsibility. That also demands of us to care about the well-being of Christians and freedom of religion for Christians as well, and other issues. For Christians, I would say it's the responsibility of history to be able to rediscover their Jewish roots of their own identity and to put aside attitudes, theologies that, if you like, were dismissive of Jewish integrity, such as the idea of replacement theology, that the church has replaced the Jews and they don't have any integrity in and of themselves. So there is a special responsibility of the past in our addressing relationship in the present. But the tragedies of the past, or guilt for the past, is not a healthy basis for a relationship in the presence of the future. We have to be able to learn how to respect one another's identities and to be able to see the other as a blessing for us both in particular, but also the blessing of diversity at large, and for that to be an inspiration as to how we relate to other communities.
Any group of people from the Jewish and the Christian tradition who meet inevitably come face to face with this issue. And for all of us involved in this dialogue, it is a scandal, and many people carry the scars of that within their own person and within their own humanity. So attentive listening, I think, is the first thing, and the second thing is the recognition that our concern is never to diminish experience, but at the same time to work towards a future that is shared on the basis of respect, remembering and never forgetting.
The Anglican Jewish Commission is due to meet in Jerusalem next year. Members expressed their hope of holding sections at St. George's Anglican Cathedral in Jerusalem at the invitation of Archbishop Suhail Dawani. U.S. President Donald Trump said he is 100% prepared to close down the U.S.-Mexico border, warning Congresses and Central American governments to take action to stem the flow of immigrants into the country. Delays were already rising at several key border crossings as Trump ratcheted up pressure on Democrats in Congress to toughen U.S. laws against illegal migrants, threatening to hurt the U.S. economy in the name of border security.
As of yesterday, has been starting to apprehend a lot of people at their southern border, coming in from Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador, and they're really apprehending thousands of people. And it's the first time really in decades that this has taken place, and this should have taken place a long time ago. You know, Mexico has the strongest immigration laws in the world. There's nobody has stronger. I guess some have the same, but you can't get any stronger than what Mexico has. And we don't want people coming up, making that very dangerous journey and coming in. Our system is absolutely maxed out. And Border Patrol has done an incredible job, but the system is absolutely maxed out. And it's a very unfair thing. So Mexico has, as of yesterday, made a big difference. You'll see that because few people, if any, are coming up. And they say they're going to stop them. Let's see. They have the power to stop them. They have the laws to stop them. And what we have to do is Congress has to meet quickly and make a deal. I could do it in 45 minutes.
Trump said Mexican officials had reacted to his threat to close the border last week by clamping down on the caravans of migrants fleeing poverty and violence in the 3 Central American countries. He also defended his decision to cut off hundreds of millions of dollars in U.S. aid to the 3 countries, accusing them of arranging the caravans of migrants.
2 brand new caravans coming up, if you can believe it, 2 big ones, and they're coming up. And Mexico could stop them very easily. Mexico has a trade surplus with the United States for many years of $100 billion a year at least. This is for many years. Mexico has taken a big portion of our car business. Mexico is doing very well because of the United States, and frankly, they have to stop the illegal immigration. Sure, it's going to have a negative impact on the economy. It's one of the biggest trade deals in the world that we've just done with the USMCA. It's a very big trading partner, But to me, trading is very important, the borders are very important, but security is what is most important to me. I have to have security. This is what this gentleman is all about, to my right. And we're going to have security in this country. So we're giving hundreds of millions of dollars to these three countries, and the money's not going to where it's supposed to be going, number one. Number two, they're taking advantage of the United States, and they have been for many years. So I cut off the payments yesterday.
Meanwhile, Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen has asked Congresses to give border officials the power to forcibly repatriate Central American illegal immigrants, including children who arrive alone, back to their countries, and also order an emergency surge of personnel to deal with the situation, including moving 750 staffs to areas of the border where the immigrants arrived. Algerian President Abdelaziz Bouteflika has submitted his resignation, ending his 2 decades rule following weeks of massive demonstrations against his continued political aspirations. The squares of the capital Algiers were thick with Algerians celebrating the end of Bouteflika's rule, according to video and photos posted on social media. Many waved Algerian flags or dropped themselves in them. Others honked car horns and danced in the streets, taking selfies to remember this moment. The Alain Bouteflika, who is 82 and uses a wheelchair, has rarely been seen in public since suffering a stroke in 2013. Over the past 6 weeks of large demonstrations, the embattled leader watched as many of his most powerful allies abandoned him. Hours before his resignation, the country's army chief issued an extraordinary blunt statement demanding that the president leave office immediately. Bouteflika's resignation came a day after his office announced on state media that he would step down before April 28, adding that Bouteflika would take steps to ensure state institutions continue to function during the transition period. So that's it on this edition of the News on the Hour. I want to thank you for watching. I am Nzubechi Frank.